Jordan, thank you for doing this. As we all know, the success of Pickup USA hinges on two things: people and processes. Over the years, we've refined our processes and continue to systemize our approach to ensure that we can replicate desired outcomes across markets. That said, as solid as our processes are at Pickup USA, they don't run themselves. What's the best strategy that you've learned to build an effective team who are capable of running your plays and achieving your business goals?
So we call it recruiting on offense. So to set the table for that, the opposite of recruiting on offense is recruiting on defense. So recruiting on defense basically means you've got your schedule filled, everything's in there, your refs, your trainers, but you don't have a bench. So essentially what's happening is you're reacting. If somebody quits or you have to fire somebody or they don't show up for work, you're in a reactive position. You're recruiting on defense now. You gotta scramble to go on Indeed, post some ads, get somebody hired, and you're in a bad position. You're gonna take whoever you can get. Opposite of that is recruiting on offense, meaning that you've got your squad filled, you've got a bench ready to fill in, and you continue to recruit. So that's the overall strategy that we employ, so that you're in a position where you're not scrambling, you don't have to accept mediocrity, and you're not relying on people that aren't meeting your standards. No, you're gonna put the best people out on the floor.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That high-level principle of recruiting on offense to ensure that you have that team that you can rely on. So let me ask you this, logistically, how do you source enough candidates to be that selective in your offensive recruitment process?
It's somewhat organic in recruiting on offense, because if, again, you're recruiting on defense, you're gonna be stressed out because you've got to fill this position. You go on Indeed, you post it, oh my goodness, I'm not getting enough candidates. As opposed to, if you're recruiting on offense, you've got your shifts filled. You've got a handful of people that want more shifts, but you're continuing to recruit. So as you go on and you post up this ad on Indeed, you don't need to be stressed out if you're not getting a substantial amount of candidates. Realistically, we spend probably $50 per quarter on Indeed ads. So we'll run these ads for 4 or 5 days at a time, $5 a piece. Typically getting 5 to 10 candidates each day, and that's our pool. So then we filter through them over the next 4 or 5 weeks, hire those individuals, get them trained up, and repeat the process.
So you've sourced enough candidates to be selective. I love that approach. Now, out of those candidates, how do you identify who's going to be the best fit, right? Who's going to be reliable, who's going to be effective right away, and who is going to stick around for the longer term rather than a quick turnaround?
Absolutely. So essentially we take them through our process, and it's an admissions process. You're testing them throughout. So step one is send me your availability. They send availability. You're questioning them through Indeed. You're gonna lose half the people there because they're not disciplined enough and organized enough to answer those questions. Step two after that is, sounds great, they meet the initial criteria. Come on in at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, let's talk it over, okay? Most of that is just, do they show up on time? Do they look professional? Then they come in, okay, they've showed up on time. Now I'm giving them an overview of the job, and I'm assigning them homework assignments continuously. So first homework assignment is, did you like what you heard here today in this interview? Send me an email, let me know that you're interested. You're gonna lose another half of the people there because, again, they're not organized, or maybe they didn't even want the job. They send me an email, great. I'm sending them another homework assignment. Hey, please complete your Fran Connect training. So I have them complete Fran Connect training. You're gonna lose some people there. Once you're done with that, send me your certificate. So all along the way, we're testing individuals. Can they get this done? Ultimately, if they complete all of those steps, cool. Come on in and let's put you on the courts for an hour. So it's an in-person tryout. Did they show up on time? Do they have basic ref proficiencies? Excellent. After that, there's still more homework assignments. They need to send me an email. How'd they feel about it? Cool. At that stage, we're gonna send them a job offer. The job offer is just the beginning of the onboarding process. So there's more homework assignments after that. So send us driver's license, complete your background check, set up your ADP. By the time you get to the end of this process, you've got people that are gonna show up on time and be relatively disciplined. And then you continue to recruit on offense to make sure that once they join the team, they keep that level of discipline.
Got it. It sounds like a bunch of layers to test them to ensure that they're going to be reliable and effective. So that makes sense. Now, once you do select them, how do you get them up and running or effectively onboard them after that process?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you've selected people. The admissions process has gotten you good students into your university. So you've got smart people that are organized that can get things done. Now you've got to develop them. So keep in mind, by the time that they've been hired, they've done Fran Connect training, they've done an in-person tryout. Now you're getting them set up with a full day of training with one of your more senior individuals on the team. So they're going through that training. So they get to that stage and they're proficient in what they do within the gym. Then it's continuous development. So it's talking to them and coaching them and telling them what the expectations are. So we lay out the expectations from the jump and then we continue to measure and monitor them.
From your experience, how long does that initial onboarding process take to get them efficient or effective enough to do the job?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other good thing about recruiting on offense is you can find people that are hungry with it. Somebody who's slacking and not emailing you and taking the steps seriously, you can disqualify them from the process. But people that want the job, they're hungry, they're moving through it quick. So they're responding on Indeed quickly, they want to come in right away. After they come in for that first interview, they're emailing me. And they're going through the process quickly. So realistically, from start to finish, 10 days, give or take, for a good candidate, 10 days to 2 weeks to go through all of the onboarding steps until they're actually on the schedule. And then it's just, ensuring that they've got the support there. If you've developed a good culture and support system within your club, all of your referees are helping them out, your assistant managers helping them out, and continuing to develop them. There's no finish line to that training process. But you can have somebody, if you're recruiting on offense, you can have somebody from the first time they contact you on Indeed to being fully on your schedule within 2 weeks, and then give them a few shifts to get really up to speed, and you've got a solid ref within a month, easy.
So it sounds like in this recruiting process, it's very deliberate, right? You go through a bunch of layers, and it's a whole entire process that you've outlined. Now, you talked about once they're fully onboarded, you're developing them and you're continuing to provide them support and mentor them. So let's talk about the other side. When you monitor and measure them and they're not meeting expectations, what does the process look like from there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a science and there's an art to that. So, really your job as the owner-operator is to set the expectations and make sure your team's delivering. You may have someone who's an admissions error that came in and they're just not great at doing the job. Maybe their attitude's good, they're really trying, but they're just not a good referee, not a good trainer. So at that stage, you use your discretion, and everybody's gonna be a bit different with how they do it, whether you cut them, quickly or you give them a little bit longer of a leash to try and correct things. But you don't accept mediocrity. And the good thing is you're not gonna have to accept mediocrity because you're recruiting on offense. You've got all of these people on your bench that are eager to get more shifts. They're asking you, hey, can I pick up more shifts? So you've got those people ready, you've got bench players, and your starter, they're not putting up points. You recruited them to put up 20 points, 10 rebounds, and they're putting up 8 points, 4 rebounds. So at that stage, you start to bring people off the bench. So if you're recruiting on offense, and you're diligent with this process, you'll be able to make those moves without stressing, oh my gosh, I've got this person who's not performing, but I really need them. If that's what's happening, that's an alarm bell going off that the supply-demand function is off. You don't have enough supply of labor. So that's when you step up your recruiting efforts.
Any final thoughts that you want to relay to a new business owner that this is their first time having to put together their human resources and build a team?
The most important thing is to understand, again, as I said earlier, this isn't check the box. This isn't, I need to install my courts are installed, done, and you move on to the next thing. This is continuous. This is a significant part of your job, is always recruiting, because you're not doing the job. You shouldn't be cleaning, you shouldn't be making sales calls, you shouldn't be reffing, you shouldn't be training. You're there to organize the entire enterprise. So in organizing that enterprise, it's constant. So a good coach in college, most of their job is recruiting. Once they recruit and they got the squad, it's not necessarily kick back and relax, but that's the job. So adopt the mindset that you've signed on to Pickup USA and you've got your facility built out and you're starting your pre-sales campaign. From that day forward, once you start your recruiting your team, it never stops, and it's never going to stop, and it never should stop. That's recruiting on offense. So adopt that mindset and you'll be good.